Hello, it's Partyfoot back with another game of Mechabellum. This is a replay of a quick game I just had playing some Saber Hound into Tarantula Void Eye. I have been enjoying the Void Eye lately. Conceptually, I don't know if I've actually had much success with it. Trying to use the aerial mode almost like a surprise switch rather than going for it initially when I try it. But here we're just going to go for a nice aggressive position with our Sabres and Hounds, picking up some crawlers for chaff. And our opponent is going to go for Fangs. He's got some pretty late Fangs on this side. In fact, his whole flank there is going to be quite late if he decides to settle it there. But we'll see what happens. I've been having a lot of fun with Sabertooth lately. I don't know why, I just think they're super cool, and, you know, I love it when they can succeed, even though they're not really, you know, necessarily a late game unit. They can, it feels like they can carry if, you know, if they get on the right targets, because they do have a lot of base damage. So with one or two levels, they really start bucking, so to speak. Just waiting for our opponent to settle on what they're going to go for. A nice wide kind of defensive strategy, I guess. He's not going to find much on this flank, so we are hopefully going to win through concentrated firepower. Let's see what happens. Our crawler's coming out in front to absorb that initial Void Eye fire, which looks really nice for us. His Tarantula going down extremely quickly from the focus fire from the Sabertooth. And it looks like we've devastated that flank, losing mostly just our small chaff. We do still have Hounds available to soak up some hits. And so it probably doesn't look too good for these guys, although it could depend on this tower timing. This tower timing could be really unfortunate for us. He's turning back, and it does look like he's going to engage at least this Sabertooth while it's debuffed, but a decent amount of time taking to get there. These units are quite slow. Starting them back here does mean that our pressure is quite effective, and it looks like we will actually take out the Tarantula in the duel, really reducing all hope to zero in round one for our opponent, surely. I always speak too soon, but we do have a decent amount of chaff clear here, and our Saber is still alive, so I can't imagine a circumstance where we wouldn't succeed, and there we go. I do like Sabertooth. They're just cool. Two big guns, tanks, secondary tech. Secondary tech is awesome. A couple of different options. Elite Hackers, pretty interesting. Mobile Beacon, you can get 2 of those. I don't like the mental burden of having 2 mobile beacons. I'm like, okay, there is a way I can win this game, but I can't be bothered comprehending it, right? So we're going to pass on that, just go for the easy option of the haste module, pop it on this far Sabertooth, because he's probably going to have the longest arc around the map, potentially. And then we're going to put some crawlers out on the wide side so that we are really kind of taking over this front, kind of across here like that. And let's see what our opponent chooses to do. More Void Eyes. Void Eyes are kind of interesting. He's got the suppression shots and the shielding. I think charge shot's really good on these guys. Although I haven't tested everything, so you never know. I do like the idea of kind of going for this kind of suppression maybe build here. We'll see how it works out. He's got very little chaff still, and he beacons his units across to try and join the fight. I remember thinking in this moment, is this going to be good for him? Maybe he'll get this new pack of crawlers that we've sent in quite well. True. I think really what's happening here is it's funneling the juicy goodness directly into my hungry maw. And I'm just going to chew it all up. It's looking pretty good as we take the tower, right as his units arrive into the fight, which is very unfortunate for him. The Tarantula immediately getting devastated by the Sabertooth, which is what we love to see. Nice damage coming out of both of our guys. And round number 2 is looking to be in our favor as well. Barker is starting with a decent amount of HP as a giant specialist. So we're still having to whittle him down. Phoenix is an easy choice. Just don't have to think too much. Phoenix is generally a decent option. We don't have any flying right now. The Sabertooth are decent DPS, but you don't really, I don't know. Buying more Sabertooth is always feels a bit questionable. We do level them, though. Really starting to become a huge menace. We're one-shotting his Tarantulas already. And he does pick up a Scorpion. the Scorpion, I guess, to try and deal with our Sabres, but also maybe to counter our Hounds. I'm not too sure on that one. Luckily for us, Phoenix pretty good into Scorpion. So a couple extra Phoenixes after, well, one Phoenix. A couple Phoenixes in total. Should even out my board pretty well against what he's picking up this round. And an Arclight as well, it looks like. To bring down some of this chaff. I'm probably under chaff still, but the Hounds do contribute, so... Going for a bit of a different angle on the beacon this time, and this is, this is, you know, the mental overload. Definitely in order to be a good Mechabellum player, you should master the mobile beacon, but, you know, to be a super casual one... I can do my best to avoid it and gain value elsewhere. I have watched some videos on the internet, sorry Mechabellum, explaining how to use the mobile beacon to its fullest extent. I think, you know, with proper utilization it is pretty strong. Scorpion does take down our left-hand Saber, and our right-hand Saber is getting confused by some little guys on the ground, but the high-level Phoenixes did take it out, so with the debuff coming in, we probably will be able to destroy all these little guys here. And Void Eye's not doing that well into Fangs. But wave clear is not really their strong suit. So we pick up round 3. Okay. Let's see what we get this time. Orbital Bombardment coming out. Extended Range Phantom Ray. Now, I did go for the Extended Range Phantom Ray here. I don't know if it's good. I do kind of like the idea of them. This is where your kind of low-level gameplay comes in, and we choose like a confused model of options based on random cards that we pick. Our opponent goes for Orbital Bombardment, I believe, which is a reasonably strong card, pretty good for cheering out chaff, but we don't have that much chaff, I will say. Our opponent also only has 2 units of chaff. We're both playing it extremely bare-knuckle, I guess. But this will be quite devastating to us, because we did pick up these rays in addition to the Phoenixes. I was kind of thinking maybe they could provide a bit more of a chaff clearing option. I don't know if that's smart at all. I think it's probably not. I think we even go further into this later. We'll see. And here comes our Typhoon as well in the front. Clear out a bit more of this chaff. That should be quite nice for us. These late Fangs actually doing a pretty good job. Our opponent not showing any interest in taking the tower, even though we did level it up just in case, because you know, any sort of crawler flank here would immediately threaten that tower. But it is not yet to be, as our opponent beacons in again to join the action with his far flank. Let's see exactly how this plays out. We do get the aerial mode coming out on the Void Eyes. It reduces their range and makes them a little bit faster. So they do get a little bit more in trouble. I actually tried my strategy of swapping to aerial mode as a kind of, as an all-in, but found that the reduced range actually caused a lot of them to get taken out early in this orbital bombardment. Oh, just devastating. All of that nonsense that I put down immediately destroyed. It's lamentable, but I think, you know, these Typhoons seem to be doing a pretty good job clearing out Void Eyes. The poor things getting ahead of their more tanky brethren on the ground now that they're floating around in the air. And taking it as a result, so we actually still win the round. Just these, look at this Saber. Refusing to die, destroying stuff, most kills as well, despite the fact it's only got 2 guns. I don't even know how that's possible, actually. Someone needs to record the life of this guy. He's pulling off something crazy. The nuke comes up, the big nuke. I'm gonna skip it. I'm brazen in the face of the nuke. If he nukes me, then I'm just gonna be ahead. That's my plan. In money, so to speak. Bodies on board. I went for more Phantom Ray Phoenix, and then I was like, wait a second, what am I doing? This is so confused, right? I mean, extended range Phantom Rays is kind of almost like a weird Phoenix in some way that's a little bit more durable and a little bit more splashy, but less... So then I think I reconsidered that as our opponent goes for some more Scorpions and grabbed that range upgrade. Let's see. It's taking us a hot minute to make that assessment. If it is in fact what I do, I think that's what happens. Spoilers? Spoilers. Well, what's not spoilers is what will happen with these Void Eyes, whether or not their investment will pay off. And there they do. There they go, abruptly. To be replaced with a few more Typhoons and the Typhoon Shield upgrade. We figured that quite a few of these units would like to get onto our Hounds and, you know, maybe clear out our chaff with fire or something in the future. I don't know. Shield, in retrospect here, I don't see exactly how good... I like the shields, alright? I like the shields. I think they're good. Covering the Fangs, covering the Hounds. Tanking up random stray shots and keeping things alive. And then staying in the back and actually taking out all the aerial units. Actually, I think this is working out extremely well for us. Meanwhile, our poor level 2 Void Eyes here going down to this level 1 pack of Fangs in a 1v1. That's a duel that they cannot win, apparently. Which is very sad for them. And our opponent is on the ropes. Oh, we're, you know, demonstrating the power of early Sabretooth. Grabbing that enhancement upgrade to level up our Typhoons. Sell them. And I believe then level up our Sabretooth. Our opponent goes for War Factory, which is something that I, you know, never think about the possibility of happening. Efficient maintenance on those as well. Let's see if it pays off. We don't have anything currently that can destroy the War Factory, apart from maybe these Sabres, who have been taking numbers. We replaced the Typhoons, because, you know, I don't know. I don't know if that's efficient. I didn't do the math. I just imagined that it would be. Where our opponent's deciding where he's going to place down these behemoth units. And we're just grabbing, I think, more chaff alongside upgrading our Sabres. So, beaconing in that second factory as well. Potentially something like armor would have been quite good for him here, I think. Our Phoenixes still pierce the armor, and we go for the homing missile upgrade on the Typhoons. How exciting, right? Right? Let's see how it goes. I don't know how good these homing missiles are. They kind of seem to do okay if you've got a big static enemy. They target quite precisely the same spot, so not very good against moving targets, it would seem. First factory goes down, and it's looking pretty good for us that we might just sweep this game without taking any damage. There you go. That's what it's like when you start Sabretooths. You can't lose the game. Is that actually going to be the case? As one of our Sabres goes down, but the other is still very healthy. Dealing hundreds of thousands of damage. Almost. Something. Exaggeration, but perfect. And there we have it. A really quick, super one-sided game. I've actually had a few of these lately, especially playing Sabre. Maybe I'm basically doing the StarCraft 2 equivalent of cannon rushing each game, but you know, that is how it is. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Partyfoot signing out.